Game 1 goes to MM. We'll head to picks and bans for game number 2 to see how this one winds up. Don't do that.
Why not?
Isn't that mean?
In England it is, but I know I'm in America, so I was like, yeah, I can do that sign too.
Yeah.
It feels good to be able to do it, and only people in England are like, did the Hindu just do that? That's rude.
You're so thug, Hindu.
I know.
Osiris, Serket, and Fafnir, the bans out here. Monkey Madness have one more at their disposal, and it will be the Bologna.
Terra.
So we'll have to see DanteLeFargo on something else. Will it be the Terra?
I'm not sure. It could be Terra. I mean, we've seen a few differences so far today. It's probably going to have to be.
Yeah.
I could see Nemesis being drafted by Monkeys here in response to that, but we'll see if Homiefe does fancy running that.
Why the Nemesis into the Terra?
Nemesis is just going to slow him down. Obviously, the slow really makes a big difference against the ultimate that Terra has available to her to speed up a team. Plus, shredding protection is something like useful.
Homiefe.
Homiefe. Is that what
Homiefe.
Okay.
Homiefe. Camazotz on Homiefe. This is a character that Homiefe absolutely loves, and he rarely really gets a chance to really pull it out. And so Homiefe is going to come out. I'm very excited about this pickup. Flashpoint going to put Thanatos in the hand of Mirage. So
Dirty Bubble.
That's what I'm going to take you on a little history trip here. The Dirty Bubble was a meta where everybody kind of built things tanky, and not everything really worked. But Thanatos being built tanky is an incredible idea. It's definitely the way to do it, and it's what Mirage did once upon a time. Bringing it back. I don't know how it will build, but Mirage's Thanatos is something that a lot of people are scared of.
It also might be to do the matchup against Camazotz specifically. I don't know exactly the ins and outs of this matchup.
It's Khepri, dude.
Well, we've not seen this matchup too many times between Camazotz and the Thanatos, but what I can tell is that Camazotz generally, when he's in trouble, he'll ult to try and get away, and that's somewhere where Thanatos is going to like, oh, you're going to ult to get away? No problem, I can chase you back down.
When you hear the sound of hooves, think horses, not zebras.
I think Cernunnos.
My point is, Khepri ult is going to be countered by Thanatos.
Sure.
And that's why we see the Thanatos.
Sure. There's additional reasons though as well. Is what I'm expecting.
But think horses, not zebras.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay away from the basic. That's all. Because all we do is the basic.
Well, Bacchus.
He's not basic.
No, he's different. But he's absolutely in Shadowq's wheelhouse.
Oh, for sure. And it's going to be an easy one. But will we see Terra? I mean, it's going to be Terra in the solo lane, I guess, for
yeah, of course.
Flashpoint here, and then put Bacchus, for Shadowq.
Yeah.
One of his bread and butter go-tos there. It's pretty good against Camazotz too, because Camazotz is very ability-based in my eyes. Like, you've got to get the sustain off. If you can't get the sustain and the burst damage, you can
Agni for Andy.
Well, we asked.
This is a new one.
We asked. You know, we expect to see his god pull hopefully expand this split, because he's been there for a while now. Agni, we'll see what he does.
I'm excited. I love Agni. He's got a lot of control, decent long-range damage, and so Camazotz is a long-range poke assassin. So Agni doesn't have to be Kraken Man. He can be moderate damage while his jungler does all the heavy lifting.
But the Agni with the stuns are going to allow Camazotz to confirm a lot of the damage from his abilities. One of the issues Camazotz really struggles with is landing the abilities to get the damage off.
Yeah.
If you've got an Agni that's going to be able to settle with the bomb stuns, it's going to allow an easier time for Camazotz to go, oh, you're stunned? Cool, free shot, I'm going to get plenty of damage off.
Exactly. Mirage going to be starting on that Thanatos, like you said. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as the starting builds, except for take a look at DanteLeFargo. A little bit of interesting assortment of stats. He's got some movement speed by way of the booties. And then, of course, building into the breastplate.
Deathwalker was the one that tried to show this off at Masters. This is something that he arguably liked the idea of. He said it's a cross between Vanguard and Bluestone is what he thinks about it, because it gives you some extra protections, which is, good against minions, obviously, and against the physical in lane. But also the extra mana and mana regeneration. It's something that you would get, available to you to be able to sustain a little bit more.
Mid lane Cernunnos. We kind of glossed over that.
We did a little bit because I think I was too busy preparing with the double Guardian. So it's double Guardian, double Hunter, and a Thanatos now. But all their damage is really going to come from the physical side of things. That's the only concern here, I thought, is that it's all physical. Yeah, Dante's going to do some damage, but it's still a Terra as magical, and Shadowq is going to do some damage, but it is a support Bacchus. It's not going to be a mage Bacchus.
I mean, Shadowq is going to do a lot of damage. That's
agreed.
That's
Bacchus.
But I'm with you on the Terra. There is going to be a lack of magical damage here for sure.
But we'll see how it works out for them in the double hunt, because generally double hunters have had a strong season before,
and
where they've done very well for themselves in focusing on tower push, tower shred, and making it very tricky to fight the backline because they can split up and both still hit you from 55 units away.
And at the end of the day, Hindu man, I don't think it's as much of a cardinal sin. It's not egregious when you are lopsided in one direction or the other.
Sure.
It's something to think about and something that is definitely a concern throughout the game, but I don't think you lose the game because you have 4 physical.
Agreed. I think the balance is actually pretty good between the two right now. As you can see left-hand side, Monkeys did take the Oracles down. They lose lane pressure on the left-hand side by doing that, and now they're getting collapsed
Flash.
on by Flashpoint. The flop will miss, but the red buff will surely fall for Flashpoint.
Yeah, the flop is totally fine. Mirage is going to go ahead and we'll see Flashpoint split this up by 4 players. Mirage level 4 now. Really, really important for him to hit 5 as soon as possible. Ooh, catches the dash, but a nice zigzag from Andy.
I like the call of that. Zigzag as well is the right word, because he realized that Cypher's coming straight after the silence of like, oh, this Cypher's definitely coming from ahead. Quick sidestep, and all is good.
Yeah, that's the Andy avoid.
Are we still playing that game?
I wish there was a caster cam. You know what? You know when you just sort of blink real slowly, like, oh, you did it. I got that.
I was trying to avoid discussing that, of like calling the Barra backstep or whatever. I'm like, no, we did that last split. We should move on now. And then you're like, the Andy avoid.
Oh, absolutely
not.
Not what I can say. The shake up. Just wait. It's coming.
Okay.
It's on its way.
Okay.
It's in the mail. It's stuck at the mailbox.
Oh, please leave it in the mailbox.
The postman is coming.
As long as possible. As long as possible. Keep an eye on the levels, though. Both the junglers are level 5 right now. fineokay a little bit further ahead than DanteLeFargo here. Kind of to be expected, especially because they'll be focusing on invading the right-hand side with the Camazotz and the Erlang. That's why Homie's looking to flank around the back and take a peek at Dante now.
Yeah, there's going to be some bites, and don't forget, Homiefe's ultimate is really powerful for tower diving.
He waited to hold that ult, and instead, he ended up dropping the kill because of it. If he ults a little bit earlier there, he probably would have confirmed enough damage to bring down DanteLeFargo, but by holding it, trying to save onto it, cost him the kill.
Yeah, a little rough play here. Interesting small note I want to bring up is that Homiefe doesn't go for the mana pots. Instead, he goes for the multi-pots, which allows him to make these aggressive plays because he's healing off of he's healing off of the 2 potions as well as his own like innate healing. And
realistically, as long as you're in the jungle and you've got that Bomber's Mask, if you keep killing creeps in the jungle, your mana regeneration is solid enough anyway. Yeah. You're not really going to struggle. But what Flashpoint are doing here are consistently trying to invade buffs. They invaded the red on the left-hand side, didn't find a kill. They invade the speed on the right-hand side. Keeping this pressure on is a good thing because it also is denying Homiefe from getting some benefits from his passive.
And that's again, we mentioned how they played their last composition very, very well. Same deal. Listen, man, you want to fight a Thanatos in 4 minutes? Your choice.
The question is what Mirage does with this Thanatos as time goes on. He secures that nicely, Mirage. Ends up walking away from it because fineokay still trying to poke down with the support in tow of Homiefe coming around, and Sheyka taking a lot of damage in mid. He's still isolated alone. He's got to be careful about trading with andinster there as the speed buff being contested.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-3-on-1 here. Monkey Madness with the 4 players. Sheyka isolated by himself.
Die if he's not careful.
Oh, the dash aggressively finds the stun. Flame Wave is good. The tick damage is strong, but the ultimate comes out and Andy throws the bomb. Nice little duel there, but Sheyka's the one to fall. First blood goes to the mid lane mage in the 1-on-1.
I mean, I caught it because I saw it was clear as day that was going to happen there. I'm like, okay, Sheyka, you're making a big boy play if you do this. Will you look cool on the highlight reel if you solo andinster here when you're at half health? Sure. But I don't think andinster's going to fall for it because he knows that if you're willing to box him there, either someone's coming, which they weren't, or you're wanting to make a big boy play.
If Sheyka ults 0.5 seconds earlier, he wins that team. He wins that fight. I have no problem with him taking that fight. Sometimes you win those and sometimes you lose those, man. In fact, I'm happier that he took that fight. As a rookie against Andy, you got to take that. I don't even care that he lost.
So in my eyes, there's a boon. The only boon is the fact that Flashpoint did secure their own speed buff because Andy was distracted killing Sheyka. That's the only upside. Yeah. Because otherwise, Sheyka was out of position and low health couldn't get involved. fineokay's in trouble though. Nice silence from Mirage will cancel out the transformation.
What goes up must come down right on top, but he gets out of execute range.
Missed it.
Still, no, he hit it. He was just at execute range. He healed up.
I actually thought he missed that one. That was all Shadowq, though. Looking to secure this for his team now. The belch will stun. The side is good. Finally, on the second time, but now they're overextended.
Yeah, this is trouble now. Homie's here with Jigz. Big Intoxicate coming out of Shadowq. Up in the sky goes the Birdman. Mirage trying to dodge and weave and wiggle and wive, but he misses the one, and now he's done. Homiefe with the kill on the Mirage. Shadowq could be next, but the team can't catch up. The dot.
Oh, Homie can chase this down if he wants to. We'll leap to avoid a little bit more of the damage.
Spit.
Looking for the spit, but the minion wave will block the spit chance. And if the minion wave wasn't there, Shadowq could have potentially died. In the end, he gets away.
Man, those are the ones where you're just rooting for the good play. I was just rooting for Homie to find the long-range kill.
I always root for the minions, man. I always root for the minions. I always root for Sheyka to live as well in the mid lane.
You very rarely root for that, actually.
I am now.
Look at Andy! Look at Andy! Oh my goodness, that's the second time we've seen him aggressively dash, and that's scary. We have lamented Andy about his god pool. He has secretly farmed up this Agni.
I mean, he might have had it there for a while as well, because most people who've played since days of old, like andinster has, everyone knows Agni.
That's actually really true. Agni used to be one of the go-to carries in the lane when it was 2-1-2 before Bumba's Mask came out, if you can remember way back then.
I wasn't old enough.
And shouts to one of Allied's favorites, the Agni support back from the 2-1-2 meta.
Hey, he's got a stun, he's got a dash, he's got tick damage, he can body block.
Yep.
Like,
he can body block. I like how that's body block.
Listen, you don't understand. When I play games sometimes and I just want to play an unusual guardian, I'm like, an unusual support, I'm like, yeah, listen, he's alright, he can body block, he's useful.
Hey man, he can buy Watcher's Gift, he can body block, he can steal objectives, you're done.
What mod you want? What mod you want? I can survive, I can drop med on you, I'm just like every other support.
Hindu man. Looking to play Nox support in your ranked games.
Yo, Nox support is legit.
Well, Shadowq needs some help right here. Half HP, just poked out. Andy already off to a tear. What's he building? Just pen boots so far. Going to be building into that Dynasty plate helm most likely. A lot of damage coming out from the Agni early on.
I love the fact he's going for some physical defense as well. You know why? Because I mentioned it earlier on. 3 members, the real damage dealers, are all physically focused in this game. So going for some physical defense on andinster, it won't necessarily help his damage outputs as much as it could do, but it will help him survive, which means if you don't do damage, if you're dead.
Vetium pulls the trigger a little bit early and misses it because sops is in the air. So you win some, you lose some. Oh well.
Just keeping an eye on those low-no stacks. I'm not 100% sure if they're both finished, but we should get some dings very soon. 75 is the magic number, and I believe only one of them is at 75 right now.
Yeah, there you go. And we'll likely see that sold and re-picked up, you think?
I'm not so sure. I don't think we've really seen that. We've just seen it left in the inventory because it's good enough to give you that little boost of gold, plus the extra health you get from it. You don't really want to get rid of the health. It is an option you could look to do.
Yeah.
But then you're running the risk of, like, I'm just reinvesting the same item to get the same 100 health back again, and this bonus gold, which when you work out about it, it's okay, but it is delaying a build if I'm going to keep investing 500 Gs of time in it.
It's like buying scratch-offs to get bonus money, right?
That's a good way of putting it, yeah. You buy a scratch card ticket, and then you win 500, and you're like, well, I'm just going to buy another 500.
Exactly.
And then, oh, look, I won 500. I'll buy another one. Hey, look, I won 500. And then you never really use that gold. Otherwise, you actually create.
You're just using the gold to buy the item to get you the gold to buy the item to get you the gold to buy the item.
Circle of life.
Pretty
basically
much,
how it is.
fineokay gonna dash away there by way of the turtle. And he'll maintain control of this left short lane here.
So this doesn't really surprise me how the game's kind of begun, because Flashpoint are using double hunters who are both going for Transcendence as well. They want to sit back in the early game, farm up to the midpoint, get the team composition sorted so they can look to either group up as 5, push down towers with the double Guardian and Mirage always hanging around, being a nuisance on the Thanatos, or take a team fight and actually make it a 5-on-5 team fight. They will be strong in both of those. It's just about position and not getting picked apart, and that's the difference that we could see if the Monkeys continue this pressure.
3-1 so far, just past the 10 minutes. And Mirage here on the Thanatos looks like he is going to build a little bit aggressive here. You kind of have to build a little bit aggressive.
I don't think he needs to go tank at all. You should just be going for the penetration and the damage option because he needs that extra burst. They have no burst. They've got sustained from Homiefe. They've got sustained from Cernunnos.
Yeah.
They need the extra burst because otherwise it's only Shadowq that's going to bring any.
That's fair. At the end of the day, Thanatos, I just want him to execute people through a Khepri bubble.
Sure.
So as long as he goes CDR, I don't care where it comes from.
And the funny thing is about gods with executes like Thanatos, like Ao Kuang, we may see him a little bit more going forward. Meditate being a little bit weaker, meaning that not many people are picking it up. The sustain meta is kind of coming to an end. It's more of a poke meta now that's starting to rise as time has gone on.
DanteLeFargo here on the Terra. How's your, I mean, we've only got to see 11 minutes, and that's not really where solo leaders like to flex, but what's your take on him off of the Bellona and on the Terra so far?
So on the Terra, I mean, it's not really much to really talk about because we've not seen it, but
exactly.
Breastplate start into boots. He's done well to survive in lane. Got an assist to his name. Job done, really.
Yeah, exactly. He's checking the boxes.
Your job as a solo lane in the early stages of your week. Hang on a second.
And there's going to be a stun after the Intoxicate out of the support. Shadowq doing his job. all for the mid Harpies, like it's season 2 all
That
over
was all
again.
for the Aegis of andinster. That's what it came down to in the end. Andinster popped the Aegis, was bored, was rooted in place. They full comboed him, but he ate all of that thanks to the Aegis. Every single thing of that, all the damage was negated, and he could have potentially died if he didn't Aegis at the same time.
Wow, it was scary. That was scary for Mirage. He was able to get
scary
out of it
for
here.
Flashpoint because fineokay's round the corner. The bomb's raining down from Andy spells doom for Shadowq. And DanteLeFargo was like, oh god, was I missing my solo laner? Yeah, you were, boy, because fineokay gets his first kill.
I like that. So Mirage goes up basically to save his own skin. I'm not going to frame it any other way. But while he's up, he takes the time to see everywhere around the map, sees the rotation from Vetium, and yeah, Flashpoint was already out of there. But if they had any plans on going back in, those plans were quickly negated.
So now with the God Fury started up here, we might see a bit of a contest from Flashpoint, and it looks like Monkey's will actually be set.
Bud.
The double shot is always nice, especially when you've got a Transcendence that near enough is fully stacked as well from Sops. But he's showing what he can do. So he's fineokay in the mid lane on Sheyka, who boxes out as Dante was like, oh, you dead?
Yeah,
Awkward.
That was not a good look for Sheyka, unfortunately.
So what happened in there, and this is the reason that we just saw Sheyka die, and mainly the reason we saw Shadowq die after, was they committed a lot onto andinster a little bit earlier on. 3 ultimates to be in fact, at least 2 of those ultimates I should say, were used on andinster, and then they went to contest the right and Harpies, and Monkeys knew that. They also had fineokay on the rotation, and that just punished them because they had their ultimate still available.
Homiefe in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to turn around instead. Looking at Sops, takes to the jump, but likely to fall here as Andy dashes on him and lets the dots do the dirty work. Mirage is next. Basics can't catch up, and the spit won't either. And Vetium can't find it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, but Andy will get it. Double kill for the mid laner. That was a hard job, Andy. Oh, scratch that. He's got to fight Sheyka now. 3 in a row, sunshine. Andy's like, listen, I beat you before. I don't need to do it again. It's okay. I'll leave now. You can have that Red Bull.
Wow. Sheyka not looking like he did in game number 1. And of course, like you mentioned, and I mentioned a number of times, the picks are different. Isis excels in the early game. Cernunnos is a hunter, so more looking for the late game.
The problem with Sheyka right now is that because he's so far behind 2 levels down, if you look at the gold, I want to actually see the gold difference between the teams if we can, not gold in hand. Actually, net worth would be the one I'm really interested in, I guess, because I feel like Sheyka's only just managed to finish this Transcendence. He's only just started stacking it now at level 12.
Yes.
It's kind of been a bit too slow this game with how things have gone. And if you actually look at the net worth charts, look at it, he's second from bottom down with Mirage, whereas Andinster is at the top. There's an 1100 gold difference in the mid lane, and it's causing problems.
Shadowq in some trouble. He gets
Good
grabbed,
combo.
and he gets in trouble. And one more shot will do it. Andy reads the jump.
Anyway, that cost Sheyka's ultimate, that cost DanteLeFargo's ultimate, and still the fat man falls.
Oh, Andy reads the jump. Oh, what a play. Andy. What a guy.
And while that's going on, speed buff invaded. Dante taunted in by fineokay. Sheyka looking to get away again, but the bombs rain down, and Mirage is here against 2.
And Mirage puts out a silence, but that's it.
Oh,
fineokay gets a kill off of the assist of the jungler. Mirage trying to find an exit, but Sops is actually taking care of Vetium. Slowed down.
Help me.
Aegis is good for the moment.
And that was a good conversation there as the bomb rains and Andy said, Vetium was like, guys, hello? I'm getting shot in the back. I can't do anything. I love what Sops did there, but Andy's going off.
Yeah, Andy. This has been... Oh, he's going to jump forward.
And Andy knew about the timing. Ricochet maybe still? No, not going to try to tempt it. Meanwhile, Tier 1 tower on the right falls. Tier 2 tower now being sieged down by the monkeys on the right too, as Homiefe will return towards the mid lane again, as Jigz and Vetium want to keep on fighting. They're going to catch Sops.
Yeah, he's going to grab Sops. Shadowq jumps to the left side. There's going to be a rotation in from MM, or rather Flashpoint. DanteLeFargo TPs on the left side.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit messy now, F-Dot, from Flashpoint's point of view. They've been picked apart a little bit too much. Not on the same page. They were trying to just wait out for this mid-game to come round, but just as we're starting to turn towards that mid-game part where people are making the rotations, is when it all fell apart from them.
It's 1 to
Constant
11.
Picks.
It's 1 to 11.
Constant picks, and a lot of that was andinster being in the right place at the right time. Every single time as well. There was multiple times, and you could have seen people escape from Flashpoint taking the exit, but then andinster was always there covering the option.
And that ability comes from Sheyka being shut down. 0-4-0 on this Cernunnos mid. 3 levels down versus andinster's level 15. just completely shut off the mid laner, and that's why Andy can free rotate wherever he wants.
Homie still wants that kill on Mirage, but he won't be able to dive all the way in, recognizing he would have took tower aggro if he decided to stay there, but he's still hovering around the corner. Mirage has got to be careful because I know the bat is still waiting in the wings on top of a ward.
Mirage able to heal up thanks to the Death Scythe, but yeah, I mean, oof. Sheyka has been a no-show in this match, which is unfortunate.
This is a last man stand for Flashpoint. This Portal Demon is actually important for them. They're committing to it for a bait for a fight if they can, but they do want this Portal Demon. Shadowq's actually trying to buy time for his team to get it, but will they? They will, but they lose Mirage.
fineokay on top of that one. Jigz gets credit for sops now trouble. Homiefe is actually in trouble, and with Mirage already dead, the Khepri ultimate will be good. And there's underneath the tower, DanteLeFargo. He's able to stun out fineokay. The wraparound for the support, not soon enough. Jigz gets his second kill of the team fight. Second kill of the game. Meanwhile, Andy puts number 8 in his kill column.
Just so you know what was going on there, Vetium took the Gold Fury on his own on this left-hand side of the map while that fight was going on. Now he's going to get a tier 1 tower on the left-hand side. Homiefe heads to right, forcing Sheyka to go and defend at the tier 2 that's moments from death.
I love Devo gloves. I love Devo gloves.
Just because you can survive tanking Gold Furies
yes.
and do stuff like that in your
yes,
own?
simply like that's it. People always talk about lifesteal being this being a boxing item, right? And sure, the boxing era is over, whatever people are saying right now, because you don't need that lifesteal. But with Devo gloves, you get a comparable amount of power to Transcendence. Not as much. Transcendence is still more, and you lose the mana aspect of it. But you get a ton of power, and you're able to solo these objectives. No other build can do it. You can't build an Aussie and do that.
Good body block from Shadowq there, but they're just too far forward to commit. I know Mirage is in the sky, but Homiefe heard it and made sure he used his ult in response to stay alive. My concern with Devil Gloves, and I'm talking about Devil Gloves a little bit more going back to it now, I feel like we kind of near a poke meta, or we were in the last couple of patches. And Devil Gloves is great for that because you resustain after the fight, not during the fight.
Exactly.
The resustain option is great, and it's also good for Gold Fury situations like that, or even the Fire Giant, where you can technically use a Hunter towards the late stages, solo them on your own. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun seeing the Devo Gloves come out. One of my favorite items in Smite. Always has been, really. It's just the ability to build them quickly. They're not that expensive, right? You get to build a start. Now we saw a different approach here, but theoretically you can build a starting item into the Devo Gloves. It's just 1,400 to be able to finish them. I really love the item, and I was upset when it disappeared out of the meta. And seeing it on Vetium now. Seeing it on Vetium doesn't mean it's going to be meta, but, which I think is a key point.
I mean, to be fair, seeing an item on Ataraxia doesn't mean it's going to be meta either, but like Ataraxia will make it work, and Vetium's going for this option himself. He just wants to sustain back up and realize he's got opportunities like that. And Devour's Goals aren't a weak item.
No.
They're not. They're still
It's just the fact that ability-based hunters do better with Transcendence, Medusa specifically speaking.
Gonna blind check a corner, realize what's going on. I like his decision there though, Sops, because he hugged the right-hand wall. He was trying to make sure there wasn't a pick potential going on in the jungle. The moment he saw red is the moment he dipped.
And here's trouble. Sheyka's gonna see red. He's gonna use Aegis to get rid of the second bomb. And there's trouble as Andy's going to get flanked up by DanteLeFargo, but he reads it and dashes away.
And he's having a really good game right now. His vision is very good. His awareness of the situation in the moment he realizes that he has to disengage. Because sometimes using your dash is not a good idea as an Agni. Sometimes you need to hold it.
It's never a good idea.
Sometimes you need to hold it for the second initiation, not just the first.
Sure.
The first one you can technically sometimes get away with and then dash after to reposition. But recognizing when in the right time and the wrong time to use it is very, very tricky task.
Andy's the example of you got to learn the rules before you break them, and it's against the rules to offensively dash, and he's learned them, and now he can break them, and that's why we're seeing him successfully pull it off.
Well, the question is how much damage can Flashpoint put out? This is probably the last stand they can really have.
He missed!
The execution misses again from Mirage. fineokay will eventually fall down, but DanteLeFargo on the front lines did a good job of zoning away the monkeys there for the most part. This is what the Flashpoint need. They were hoping for this mid game. They've got the Hunters in a pretty good position. Chin's online, Iqval online to go with those Transcendence now. They have the chance to actually fight back, but is the difference too much?
I'm not too sure, and it just might be. 10,000 separate our teams in 21 minutes. 2 to 15. That number doesn't mean much, but it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, five is like, 5K to me is like one team fight and then we can talk. 7K is like, all right, 2.5 team fights and we can talk. 10 is, all right, they really got to make a lot of mistakes in a row before we can talk.
Fire Giant is how Flashpoint are going to look to sort of shorten up this lead. 70% on the objective, but MM show up and they have to get out of here. This might have been the wrong choice. Vetium says it absolutely was. 0-3 and 2 for DanteLeFargo as he falls. The solo later for Flashpoint.
And that was Flashpoint coming in with 4 players. Sheyka wasn't even with them at that time. If they had both hunters there, I get the idea of trying to burst it down, but you can't burst it down without both your hunters being there in a situation like that. Instead, they get caught and they lose their own solo laner. Now it's Monkey's turn to have the power play.
Yeah, rough stuff, unfortunately, for Flashpoint. This game just has not gone their way at all. We've seen Mirage not really do what he needed to do, and he's got a good Thanatos. And it's just that he wasn't able to really perform after minute 3. And it has nothing to do about the character being, you know, oh, you can't play late game. It was just great play by MM to shut him down.
This is where you can see what happens with a hunter with Devour's Gauntlets and a bit of crit thrown in there too for good measure. Just in case you don't remember what this was like when Devour's Gauntlets were so useful, like soloing the Gold Fury. It wasn't, you know, a big point to make there just because nobody was going to be there from Flashpoint and he's level 19 anyway, 20 minutes in, 22 minutes in. So everyone's slowly starting to reach max level on MM.
Mirage is looking for something.
Can I call him
But he should look for farm.
Can I call him now? I mean,
middle lane, Mirage actually finds a death site.
Are you ignoring me?
Sops in the mid lane going to jump away. Nice toss from fineokay.
Why would you ignore me?
There's a pool for Homiefe to eat up here.
It's a valid question.
16-2. I'm running out of things to say here when I'm trying to ignore Hindu, man. Shadowq gets rooted.
Why'd you use my lie? That's rude.
What are you talking about?
Don't know what you're talking about either. MM, though, I just basically try to bait out one more kill, I feel. Because if they can get one pick here, they can do the Portal Demon. And then while they're doing the Portal Demon, Flashpoint will have to try and contest.
Exactly.
And then get another kill or even 2. And then they can go for the Fire Giant after that. But realizing that no one's going to come without the Portal Demon started, they're going to force an ultimate.
There's the Terra. They're all in. This is all in. MM are going for it. Girdle means going the other side. MM pop their own. Sops gets Jigz. He goes pop. Looking for the kill.
Heals.
It's too soon. Heals are strong, man.
Big heal coming out from fineokay at the right time. Homiefe dives in. Now he's going to take to the sky like a bat out of hell. Securing Shadowq. Sops on the run, and they can see him, but he's just too drunk to aim in the right direction.
And MM is still going for it. They're hungry, and they want their meatloaf. Coming out of the right-hand side. Sops is hanging on by a thread. Jumps over the ball out of Andy, but Vetium shoves it down to Sheyka. There's going to be a counter kill by DanteLeFargo, but it's just one. Down goes Mirage to the hand of Andy, and here's the team fight. Homiefe puts number 20 up there. It's 20-4, 24 minutes in, and they're looking for the Fire Giant.
The only thing I don't like about the Monkeys this game is that they're not protecting the carries very well. They're all kill hungry.
They're all carries.
No, but they're all kill hungry. They're all looking for the kill and looking for the picks, and they're not protecting each other. And it's Vetium in that scenario that's just left on his own, and he's like, guys, are you going to help me? Oh, Jigz, you had ultimate, but you chose not to use it on me? Okay.
That's Vetium.
I mean, to be fair, there's a chance Jigz was probably CC'd at the moment when the ult was coming out, just to give benefit of the doubt to Jigz there and not fire shots. But it does feel like they're all like, hey, you know, he got killed by DanteLeFargo.
Yeah.
Like, he got killed by a Terra. What's that telling you? Like, he should have been saved there, right?
I guess.
It's just a little bit where the Monkeys are like, obviously they're far ahead now and they're in the lead.
No, I'll tell you exactly
it's something
what
we need to keep an eye on.
Jigz is sitting there going, all right, you don't want to build Transcendence? You can heal up yourself, Mr. Devo Gloves.
Maybe. Maybe. Or you just wanted to make sure he had the same amount of deaths as him.
Just heal up yourself, Mr. Devo Gloves.
It's a possibility. This Fire Giant is free, though, unless Shadowq gets it.
Shadowq's too late. Way too late. Just way too late. That needed to just be relinquished.
Sops is still slowed there around that corner, and now it means Homie can just close the gap with the bat out of hell. One more hit's good enough. If he just uses the autos, he wanted to finish with an ability, but 2 hit that hands will do it. Mirage turns up at the right time, though, and Homie's in trouble.
Yeah, Vetium gets a kill on the right side, and Homiefe likely to fall here. Mirage gets the kill. Thanks to a nice little play over there.
Does slow down.
Yep. MM's still going to push here. I mean, there's not much that Flashpoint can really do to defend this tier 2 tower.
With two members being dead, yeah, that's a fact. And you can see the reduced attack speed coming out from that tower as well now, thanks to one of the items that got buffed in the recent patches too.
Here's trouble. Look at the flag. Look at the flag. Look at the flag. Look at the flag. It's fineokay. Pushing Sheyka out of the picture. DanteLeFargo has to exit as well. The mid lane Phoenix already toasted. Right side shifting. Andy, curious positioning, but he'll be safe and sound. And they're going to push the right side Phoenix as well. Half HP already. It's gone.
For me, this just was Flashpoint being stuck in the gates at the beginning of the race this game. They just didn't really get things going at the beginning of the game, and Monkeys found their stride a lot quicker than Flashpoint, and Flashpoint have been on the back tilt ever since, just trying to stay in it one by one, but it's just too little too late.
It's Sheyka, and not meaning Sheyka wasn't good enough, but meaning that specifically destroyed the mid lane Cernunnos, and they just haven't had a mid laner, unfortunately. And like, sure, you can say that Sheyka was out of position a little bit here or there, but it's so much less Sheyka dropping the ball and having a strategy to destroy the mid laner and putting him down to fight 4-on-5.
But the whole squad is technically behind, so look at the damage output from the whole team.
And that's the ripple effect of not having a mid laner.
And I agree with that. I
mean, look at the other side. Andy, 9-0 and 8 million,
25,
right?
26K.
Yeah, he's able to just walk away from his lane, and now have two junglers, and now one of them is a mid lane AoE mage, just wheeling and dealing. So everybody's eating. Where on the side of Flashpoint, it's famine, because Sheyka's just sitting there like, can I have some more?
So with the Gold Fury still being available, now we could see the Monkeys turn it up, but with the Fire Giant buff, I'd like him just to go for the left-hand Phoenix. Don't even bother going for the Gold Fury here.
Just march in, dog.
Maybe just take gold just to deny it from their opposition a little bit, but I don't think Flashpoint are really in a spot to even look at taking it away themselves.
Nah, I want to see them just march in. Y'all got Fire Giant, left side target, march in, kill the Phoenix, kill the Titan, collect $200 after passing go. This is their game. Just take it.
And it's a great start for the Monkeys too. Get the first 3 points under their belt, especially after how their season went last split.
Yeah.
They want to get off to a good start here. Show that they're back and mean business, because
Jigz.
Masters wasn't the greatest thing for them. They were disappointed with their performance, I'm sure. And with no roster changes for them as well, it shows that they wanted to stick as a unit and fix the issues they had.
Exactly. And fineokay has been just my favorite surprise. Stop it. He's been my favorite surprise. He's been the best.
No, he's on ego.
I knew you were going to do it. Oh,
why would you say it?
I wanted to see just how dangerous you were being.
I'm not dangerous.
Shadowq jumping out there. Not exactly careful. Homiefe obliterates him. Looking in the sky is Mirage trying to find one last shot. He decides against it, lands safely in his own house. DanteLeFargo's gone as well. It's a 3-on-5.
That should be game, Tom.
That's game.
Don't think there's a way back into it now for Flashpoint. There's not been for quite some considerable amount of time. 26-5, which make that 27, as Andy is still trying to get more for his cause.
Andy, so handy, sweet like candy. 27-5, just a minute shy of a half hour, and are soaring to the top.
Fine and dandy. Ooh, that was good, and that really hit with the wrong time as well. Good timing there. Great way for the Monkeys, though, to find the 2-0 there. Not overly surprised by the result on paper. If you didn't actually watch that set at all, you would have expected that team to win for the Monkeys. Sure. But Flashpoint in game one looked very good. I like their early game draft quite a bit. It played to some of their strengths there. I think they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Not really feeding the Cernunnos in the mid lane. Not saying it's a bad idea. It just didn't come online when they needed it to. Yeah,
I'm really excited to see how this unit really progresses. Like I said, I'll admit, I was expecting a big old nothing, and I did not get that.
That's true. At least in game one. Game two, I think that's where Monkeys gave them the respect they deserved as well to Flashpoint, because game one, it felt that way as well. Hopefully people won't underestimate Flashpoint again, and Flashpoint can learn from the experience today.
The artist formerly known as Soar, take 2 games above their opposition. Flashpoint will move on to the European matches. No, we got North American.
We got LG versus ALG up next, which should be very interesting with Polar Bear Mike. Is Polar Bear Mike joining this team? No, it's not Polar Bear Mike on this team at all.
We're both fried. We'll see you in a second.
Just got up, something's wrong. I waited up with wounds on my feet.